Not exactly a personal question, but sort of in a way. And me, Speller Bradley, wondering, do you still experiencing joy in writing Lucas, or is it becoming harder for you?
Well, it's becoming harder. And joy would be too much, that would be too strong a word for my experience with either the Lucas or the Flowers novel. The Flowers novels are more fun. The Lucas novels are more intense. Um, but, I've been doing it professionally for so long. I've written more than 40 books now. And it's gotten to be a lot like work. I mean, it's gotten to be a lot like sitting in a newsroom and doing news stories. Uh, every day, 5 days a week. It's gotten a lot like work.
Kurt McKinley wants to know, Uncaged and Now Gathering Prey have centered around teen and young adult homelessness and runaways. Has something sparked this interest?
Just my relationship with my wife, Michelle, who co-wrote the books with me. We were actually talking about her interest in young adult novels, and I started this just sort of riff on her interest. And we are actually coming back from going to a garden up in Santa Barbara, California, and we were driving back home, and we started talking about Oliver Twist and the whole Twist thing. We came up with this Twist character, like what happened when Oliver Twist grew up, and how he came to start to take care of kids who were street kids and stuff like that. So that's kind of where that came from, and it just seemed like kind of a good idea that grew from there.
Patsy Lee Pope asking, which of your Lucas Virgil books would you say deviated the most from the usual accepted formula?
Which of the Lucas Virgil books?
Lucas or Virgil, there's a slash.
I actually don't know. I actually, with the Virgil books, the one involving the Israelis, because that was just weird. I mean, that was just a weird book. But I always try with the Virgil books in particular to introduce some really pretty strange aspects. Like somebody asked me what my last Virgil book, what was a really different thing about it. And I said, well, it explored the world of slow speed chases.
Oh yeah.
Everybody has high speed chases, but Virgil had a slow speed chase in which people in two very small boats with little teeny engines on them chased each other across the Mississippi River at very slow speeds. So the world of slow speed chases has not been fully explored yet, I don't believe. And with Virgil, I always try to find a couple of things like that. But I think probably the Israeli book, where they were looking at an Israeli rock with inscriptions on it, and that was pretty weird. And of the Davenport books, they're pretty much straight ahead, full power thrillers all the way.
I don't know. I'd say Easy Prey, the model gets killed because the police for most of the book have no idea what's going on. They keep investigating the wrong crimes or what they think are the wrong crimes. The killer kind of comes out of nowhere at the end because that actually happens. It's not so much a crime thriller as it is a case study of an investigation gone very strangely wrong.
Well, that's true, but I try to make all the books a little different. For example, when I first introduced Clara Rinker as a hit lady, as a hit woman, she was attractive, intelligent, successful businesswoman. She was happy to kill people and do it very well because she was an extremely competent person. And Davenport eventually had to wind up, setting her up so he could shoot her, so somebody could shoot her in the back with a rifle. So that's a little bit different too. I try with every book to have something a little bit different, a little bit weird. I'll tell you, the Virgil book that I sort of have in the back of my mind now, that might be the next one, it may be when Virgil has to deal with a really bad guy who he thinks is innocent of the particular crime that the guy is accused of. And in trying to prove that he's innocent of this particular crime, because he knows he's guilty of everything else, he then stumbles over the real criminals in this case. So what you've got is you've got a guy who's just crazy, nuts criminal, but he's probably innocent. And everybody is saying, look, you know, if you don't get him for this, you know he did 75 other things just like it.
Yeah.
And Virgil's kind of a purist. He said, yeah, he didn't do this one. So that would be different than most of them.
Roger D. George wondering something that you answered a lot at signings, but you've never done for one of the video questions. Why don't you like the Beatles?
Because they're a pop group and I'm a rocker. I like the Stones, for example. I like Creedence. I like Skinner. I like some of the metal bands. I like Aerosmith. I like people who bang on drums really loudly. I'm not particularly interested in melodies as such. I like country music. Country music is the last stand of the guitar right now. Maybe guitars will come back and other kinds of music, but basically music has become more and more involved with almost pure rhythm. I'm talking about popular music now. The kind of country music I like is really kind of southern rock mixed with western swing with some blues in it. It's not the kind of fiddle shit-kicking music from Nashville. I don't like Nashville music very much. I like Texas music and California music, country music. But I like a little rap too from time to time. I like Snoop, for example. But I don't like songs like the Beatles. I just don't. They sound like elevator music to me. And I know that offends a lot of people. Matter of fact, one of my very good friends, a guy named Larry Millett, he thinks that the Beatles were a genius group of the 20th century. And Larry is an extremely smart guy. He's nearly as smart as Roswell. And he really likes them, and I respect that. And I know that a lot of people like the Beatles, but I don't. If I hear Eleanor Rigby one more time, I won't shoot myself because I'm a coward. But that and Brown Eyed Girl would cause me to commit suicide, I suppose.
But Brown Eyed Girl isn't in the Beatles.
Yeah, I know, it's Van Morrison.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are certain songs that kind of push my buttons. So.
Yeah, okay. Not from the questions, but just a related thing in a weird way. There was a band you mentioned in Deadline, Johnson Johnson, says that it's the future of American music. Remember that band?
Yes, it's country rap.
You know that they're fans of yours?
No, I didn't know that.
Well, one of them commented on a Twitter thing saying, I just read this, and they cut and paste the entire thing from the audiobook where Johnson Johnson says that.
Yeah.
So, what band is that? I don't know.
It's the Shiner Nation. It's the Moonshine Bandits.
Okay.
And if anybody wants to look at Moonshine Bandits, look at the video for Dive Bar Beauty Queen. That will get you started with the Moonshine Bandits in a big way. Okay. And the thing is that they integrate serious California country with rap, and they don't do it badly because I tell you what, some country music stars who try to integrate rap really, really suck. And there's no other word for it. But the Moonshine Bandits are pretty damn good. I like those guys.
Don't have any more questions, but as promised to a few people, for the 25 Days of Prey, I'm giving away 3 signed, autographed, personalized copies of the first edition Rules of Prey, which he's going to sign to the 3 lucky winners. So this one is being signed to Rosemarie, that's one word, a committed Lucas Davenport fan. Right there. To Rosemarie Zarek.
Okay, there's Rosemarie's bit.
And here's one for Jen Schroeder, who says it would be awesome if you signed it to Jen and mentioned the one waffle that Lucas eats and something about the 100 songs. Pick one, your choice, and date it or something. And she'll keep it on her shelf forever. So Jen Schroeder.
Okay, one for Jim.
One for Jen. And finally, for Candy Thome, who says, I would like him to sign the book to Candy, and he can add anything he would like to it. After all, he is the writer. But date it, please.
And this is the 14th of April, 14th of May.
All right, thank you. And that is it for this Q&A. We'll probably do another one in a year or so, or maybe later this year when the sci-fi book comes out. Beyond that, I think we're done.